got some keyboards to try out, and it could be a bit of a comparison between cheap. This is a really entry-level keyboard. This is the Ziyulang keyboard. It's really sent by a company called Manga Snake. Now, Manga Snake seem to make all of the, or at least they seem to import all of the kind of inexpensive Chinese mechanical keyboards. I'll give you my thoughts on this in a moment as well. So it could be the cheap through to the more expensive, and this is the most expensive keyboard that I'm going to try out today. This is the EPA Maker RT100. I've got a Cherry MX board, which you would mostly think that's the kind of premium of the keycaps, because Cherry are the kind of top quality keycaps that you can buy, top quality switches at least, and that is them just putting all of their keys on one board. And I've got the Keycron K3, which is my go-to sort of wireless slim keyboard as well. I really like this keyboard. So it could be inexpensive through to more expensive. It could be also different switches as a comparison. So I have in the Keychron red switches. Red switches are silent and linear, so it means they don't have an audible click, and they also don't have a kind of change in activation force as you press them in. The blue switches here on the Manga Snake or on the Ziyulang, they are clicky, so you can hear an audible click when you actually press the keys in. Then this from EPA Maker, they're calling this the sea salt switch, and this is a silent but heavier activation force and linear. Okay, this is an interesting switch here. Really like this switch, incidentally. And lastly, a brown switch. And a brown switch, actually, there's a kind of increase in activation force as you press in. So it actually gets harder to depress, and that's the kind of tactile feedback that people talk about when they talk about mechanical switches. So either linear or tactile, either clicky or silent. So let's go through them. I'm just going to fire off a few key hero tests, and I'll let you know what I think about each one after each trial. Remember, the key heroes are going to be bad because I'm actually switching between different keyboards, and there is a slight change to how keyboards feel, and that will slow you down. Although my typing speed's not good, I'm just lining up my excuses before I even start here. And well, let me know which ones of these 4 keyboards you'd like to see full reviews of, and I'll go ahead and make those. Let's go in order of cheapness. Let's go from least expensive to most expensive. Why not? Least expensive is this one. It's not going to fit, which did also come, by the way, with this rather snazzy USB cable with a random connection there. That I'm not sure why you'd need that. You could change it to A, I suppose, with that. But one thing to say about this keyboard is it does not have any other feature apart from wired. It does have colored lights. It does have RGB lighting, which is quite cool for something like this. It is the most compact. This is called a 10 keyless setup. It doesn't have its own row of function keys, so the number keys, they also double up as function keys when you hit the function down here, and you can change the lighting, change the frequency of it shifting, or you can change it to the solid on. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a key hero test with the, should I call it the Mamba Snake? The Ziyulang. Cool, okay, so pretty awful, 30 words per minute. Lots of mistakes in there. I don't think that's the keyboard's fault. The keyboard is fine. I'm not sure whether I really like the clicky sound, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. And if you're working in any kind of space where there are other people, that could get really annoying for them. I'll do one more time with this one, why not? Better, sort of 44 words per minute. Not great though. So what do I think about this? I think it is worth the price that you pay for it. This is about 45, 50 quid. I think that's fantastic. Actually, if you just want to get a mechanical keyboard because you like the idea, you want to try it out, you can't go wrong with this. And I'm pretty sure that any that are imported by this Mamba Snake company are going to be of a sufficient quality, a similar quality. So if you want to try out a different type of keycap, if you want to try out a different type of switch, then I would buy with confidence, quite honestly. Right, let's go up a kind of quality level supposedly, and let's go ahead and look at the Keycron. Now I really like this one. This was about 75 quid. It does come with Bluetooth, which is fantastic. It does have a switch between Windows or Mac, which the Member Slate doesn't. No RGB, just white light. I just leave them pretty much on this solid white light here. Let's give it a go, shall we? How I've managed to go not to the end. Terrible. Still about 40 words per minute though, but not good. I'm gonna have another crack with this. I do like this keyboard. I'm a bit more used to this keyboard. I have had it for longer. I also find that it's difficult having grown up with Word and it like changing things automatically. So I mistype than all the time, but Word just changes it. I hit the A and the H the wrong way around. But when I'm typing in Word, it automatically puts it the right way around. So it's difficult doing a test like the Key Hero and you're just used to things being corrected and they won't be. Lining up my excuses for poor performance on Key Hero. But what's cool about this one? Well, I really do like the low profile. I really do like the feel of the keys. I feel like it's smaller. Like I know it's, you know, a 10 keyless keyboard, but it is actually, the whole typing area is the same as any other size key. They are full size keycaps, but I do feel like my hands are more cramped on here for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it is a really good keyboard. This Keycron does come highly recommended from me. The next most expensive is actually the Cherry board, although you can kind of see the Cherry as being the most premium of the bunch because Cherry switches are more expensive than the, I hesitate to say imitations, but the other brands that are out there. This is the keyboard I'm most used to. I should be fastest on it, but we'll see. Okay, the brown switches have that activation force. It does feel a bit like going home. I'm still making mistakes. See, there's that again. Terrible. 42. It does feel really good. I really like the brown switches. It's almost like also that I've had this for longest and I just feel a bit more comfortable on it. I wondered when I bought this one, and this is the first mechanical keyboard that I ever bought, I wondered if brown switches was the way to go. And I think I've convinced myself, yes it is. Out of the switches so far, these are the switches that I prefer. I'm sure I was right not to get the blue switches. The blue is not going to be my taste. The red ones are nice. They are also slim, like low profile switches, so there is that to contend with as well, whereas these are the full kind of travel. I think at the minute I'd be between the brown or the red. I'll talk about sea salt in a moment because I do like those switches. So one more time here on this one after I got back to it. I guess it's quite useful actually reviewing footage of myself typing. I could see some mistakes I'm making. I'm definitely moving my right hand across the keyboard too much, and I also don't use the shortcut of Control and backspace, which would actually mean that it deletes entire words, so I'm pressing the backspace too often, obviously. Any more tips for helping me improve my typing? Because as you can see, I'm not a very quick typer, and I do wish that I was better. It is still a skill which is definitely worth developing, even in the age of voice recognition or handwriting recognition. I'm probably about as quick typing as I am with handwriting recognition, although you can obviously type a lot more with your voice and a lot more quickly. But you type in a different way to which you write with a pen and which you speak. Typing is still a good way to create considered, sculpted, more formal text. Terrible. Well, it's the fastest one so far though, 46. That is, I feel like that, I feel like Key Hero just served me that one up because I needed a bit of motivation there. I'm never gonna make 100 words per minute. It's not gonna happen. I do need to really focus back on putting my hands in the right place and just moving them up and down and these two across and using these. I never learned to touch type when I was a kid, and that was a mistake. certainly should have learned to touch type from the outset and would be a lot better by now. So the EPA Maker, interesting keyboard. This seems to just have everything. The one criticism of the EPA Maker probably is that they've tried to squish in too much into this sort of setup. It's got the 10 key, but it's a little bit crowded maybe. That's the size that I chose, and they do have keyboards which are full size. So let's go ahead and give this a go. This has what they call CSOC switches, which are linear but have a higher activation force than a red switch does. And they're silent, which is a really, really nice. What I love about this keyboard is the silence. Too bad. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice and quiet. I really like this. The spacebar slaps a little bit. That's the only one that slaps. The rest of them are absolutely lovely. One more time with the EPA Maker and then I'll sum up. So, not terrible, but not really improving. That's the issue with me and Key Hero really, is that it's not getting that much better, and maybe I need to do a little bit more deliberate and sustained practice to actually really improve. Okay, back to the keyboards themselves. Which do I prefer? I'm still loving the Cherry MX boards. It's definitely the choice for me. It's definitely the one I'm going to stick with here on my desk for now. This keyboard though has really impressed me, and I just like the switch actually. I think I like the heavier and I like the silent switch. I don't really enjoy the blue switch, although quality wise I was pleasantly surprised by this. So if you want to get into mechanical keyboards and you don't have the earth to spend, or you're a bit worried that, you know, this isn't going to make that much of a difference for you, go for one of these inexpensive jobs from Amazon, or if you look at Manga Snake, I think that's what they call themselves. Buy with confidence that you're going to get a decent and enjoyable experience. I don't particularly like the actual style of the lettering, although I love the style of the green and white areas, and you can pick your own sort of color sets really here. There's loads and loads and loads to choose from. And also, you know, it's a small compact design. It's quite cool, isn't it? This one also, for the 50 quid, came with a matching mouse, which was cool as well. The Keycron for a low profile, including Bluetooth and a battery, etc. This one's really, really good. I do enjoy typing on this. This is the one that's most often actually used by my wife when she works from home. I really like it. I think if I was to go back, I probably wouldn't buy the red switch in this again, but I wouldn't buy blue either. I'd probably go for their brown, or maybe some other type of silent, more tactile feeling. I think tactile feelings probably the way for me to go personally. There we are. Not much in the way of conclusion, apart from that my typing speed needs to improve. I hope that was useful for you if you're looking for a new keyboard for your home desk setup.